Start recording. Hey, how we doing? Oh, I don't know if...
Did it actually work right away?
Excellent connection. Everything's live.
Yeah?
Is it working?
It's working. I think it's working. It looks like it's working.
Anybody up in here? Hi, friends.
Hi. It's Tuesday.
Did you text your mom?
Did I text my mom to tell her that we were going to be busy?
I'm streaming. We are streaming on YouTube. It's my...
So, my parents are still here because of the fires, but it's looking like they're down to level 1, like evacuation, which means just like get ready or something. So they're doing pretty good, but they're gonna stay here, I think, for a little bit longer because their house apparently will smell really, really bad, but it's not burnt. So woohoo! They made it.
Yeah, isn't that great?
But our air quality here is horrible. It's like 0 is good or something.
Yeah.
Or healthy. And what is ours? Like 4, it was 420 this morning. It's probably gone down. But
It's awful.
so it's considered hazardous for your health.
We're 3 minutes early, babe.
Yeah. First time. 'Cause
3 minutes early.
3 minutes early. What do we do?
Let's give each other high fives for 3 minutes.
With really cool wrist movements. Say, oh, play me. Come out and play with me. And bring your dollies 3. Climb up my apple tree. Climb down my
window. Into my apple. Hey.
Okay.
Oh man, I do want to drink.
Well, I thought that we shouldn't because we should be kind to our bodies because of all the extra stress.
Our bodies.
With all of the
Breathing
lung
smoke.
stuff. Yep. Okay. Let's go. Hey ho.
It's not 5 yet.
Oh.
Do you want to be stuck here with them? Talking and entertaining for 3 minutes? Is that okay?
I'm not very entertaining.
You are. Just imagine. Just think of something that's important to you in your life and tell our friends about it.
No thanks.
Don't be shy. Come on. Does
your
Amy
job.
need to be shy? No. Amy doesn't need to be shy. I'm going to go get alcohol, though, because there's one more
Donald
left.
said that I'm right, and I think he's referring to the alcohol.
Oh,
Yeah,
come on,
that's
bro.
what I think. So
Oh, man.
I think you should just drink your kombucha. There's a little bit of alcohol in there. And also, he just drank the mother right there, and it looked really disgusting.
Ugh.
Do you guys all know what the mother is? It's like, I don't know, babe. Can you explain what the mother is?
It's that. Let's see if we can focus on it.
It's all that stuff.
Let me see.
You just need to stop moving it so much, and then people can see it.
Well, it'll zoom in really close. I'm trying to get a good angle. There we go.
All that.
That's it,
Chunky
but there's
stuff.
like usually like a boogery piece in there.
Yeah, it's really gross looking, but tastes good.
I just power through. I just drink it, you know. Okay.
Oh, it's 5.
I gotta go
you
get
have-
some alcohol.
You have permission now. No. Oh no. Mm-mm.
Tell
The whole
me-
point of us being early was so that people didn't have to
tell
wait.
some poop jokes.
Brian, get back in there.
No. I want some alcohol. I'll be right back. It's okay, Mama.
You guys. Brian is a chronically late person.
Donald works at the Bible Project. Talk to him about that. Talk to him about it. Say, hey, Donald, tell me about the Bible Project.
Hey, Donald, tell me about the Bible Project. What are you up to lately? Hey, Joe. How you doing? Brian left again to get alcohol, and I tried to get him to log in early because we have technical difficulties often when we get these things started. So we're all logged in, and then he has to go and get something to drink. That's good to hear, Donald. All magical. Hey, Jeff. Do we know you outside of tents? Oh, it says you don't know me. Well, thank you for listening to our music and for liking it. It's very nice. Where are you from, Jeff? Joe, we're doing well. We're a little bit sick of having to stay inside because of all the smoke. Washington, D.C. So your air is probably all nice there, right? He's back. You're so in trouble later.
I'm sorry, babe. I'm sorry. We got some friends in here.
Yeah.
Just humid Washington, D.C.
We have a new friend.
Hey, Jeff. Welcome, Joe. Oh my gosh, Joe's in here. What's up, handsome?
Oh, that looks really dangerous. I'm moving the wine because, was it a couple streams ago? Brian spilt like whiskey all over a bunch of stuff, and nothing is ruined from it.
Although I haven't cleaned underneath this apparatus very
That's
well.
disgusting.
Hey, check out my new keyboard. Isn't that dope? Let me get it all lined up. Isn't that dope? I think it's so cool. That light should not be in the shot. It's going to be all blown out.
There we go.
That'll work. It's all crooked. Let me at least center up the push. That's good. Okay. Are we ready?
Yep, we're ready. Apparently, you're ready. We got some.
I don't know if I'm ready.
You've got some liquid.
It's so funny because with the alcohol, it's like before these streams, I'm just like in full nerd mode, getting all this stuff worked out. Oh, shit. Oh, you okay?
Yeah.
You stepped on it and it pulled on you?
Stepped on it and it pulled on me.
We have wireless. See, there's so much gear.
Oh.
We actually have wireless headphones that we've not incorporated. See how this goes. Yeah. I need like a dummy clip or something. I'll just put it here.
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Here.
What? The industrial design eye. Oh yeah, the gear's sweet. It's just easy to take cool pictures on social with all this gear. It's like, how could I not? Oh yes, yeah. Nope, don't worry, it's coming. It's coming. yeah. I got vipers on my heels and rips in my soul. Yeah, the shadows of my past anointed with pious. And my love, my boo, all wrapped in violence. And for the slow, painful death of knowing the unknown. So the people who speak without fear of lying. And to the kid in the cave who ain't seen the sky yet. How? Sorry. Kylene's in.
Hey, Rebecca. Hi, Kylene.
Wow. This is like, I'm not unsatisfied with how that went. There we go. It was a little of a crash ending. That's all part of the fun. We'll get that song out of the way at the beginning because it's by far the craziest. Kylene's here. Kylene and I are starting up a project together. For those of you who don't know, I write music for like commercials and movies and stuff, and that's my day job. So Kylene, everybody say hi, Kylene. Somebody that's I'm collaborating with is a really great multi-instrumentalist, and also by proxy more famous than me. No big deal. Okay. Sorry, I'm acting weird, babe. I know you're thinking you're acting kind of weird, Brian. It's because I just played that song.
That keyboard is very clicky.
Yeah, it's loud, huh? You guys can tell.
It's satisfying.
You guys can tell.
Like
it's like, oh, what's Brian doing?
His typing keyboard, not his music keyboard.
Okay, should we do... What should we do?
Wait.
Can you guys hear the click? Please say so if you can.
Oh, really?
I'm sure they can't. There's no way they can.
Has that happened before?
Surface, hidden neath the current where the children play. Oh, go hidden neath the surface, bathe me in your surges while I set my gaze. I'm here, my weakness I now willingly expose. I'm afraid, but I was born to be powerful and powerless and glow. Shame running from her lover, content inside her body to be made known. Old shame running from the Uzi, getting kind of woozy neath the lightweight. I'm here, my weakness I now willingly expose. I'm afraid, but I was born to be powerful and powerless and glow. My weakness I now willingly expose. I'm afraid, but I was born to be powerful and powerless and glow. a lot of our songs have been about I think like you aspire to be as an artist. Sometimes is different than who you are as a person, and so like in our band, for me, a repeating theme has been wanting so much to just like be extremely present and extremely open and just fully engaged emotionally. And I think really, I guess my view would be that in the arts, that's really what people are looking for and what people can most benefit from when they engage with anything, whether you're like laughing or maybe even being angry or cynical or whatever you're doing, being just totally open and real and present in it is just very useful to people. So I aspire to that. And Light Weight is kind of a song about kind of symbolically like what it means to be just super duper vulnerable and open and present. We have other songs like that are about that. Christopher will be with me later tonight, like 7:30, 8, sometime around there. I think we're gonna hop back on. It'll be very low key. We'll probably do some improvisation and some jamming. For those of you who don't know, Christopher is like the guitar player in this band, and he's like the most present in terms of production, helping me with production. So he is, and we obviously haven't spent that much time together since March. So we're excited to start working together. He also just had a baby.
So cute.
So stick around and we'll put some baby pictures up to the screen.
I don't think that works. Do you think it works?
Totally. Well enough.
Okay.
I put it in autofocus today.
Okay.
All right, what are we doing?
I don't know. Is that our little set list right there? Are we just doing those songs? Because then we could just do the top one.
Let's do it.
Let's do that.
I kind of want to play the beat though. I want to play the beat. It's gonna be a train wreck, y'all. It's a 4-beat loop, I think. Nope. Wait for it. It's gonna be dope. It's gonna be dope. It's so dope. See? Told you it was gonna be dope. Yeah. 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 Glad I did that.
It's like quieter. Like
It's good. It's good. Yeah. It's not quieter.
yeah, it goes. There.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay.
This is fun. I'm just gonna do this again and make this. Yeah. It's gonna be dope. Don't worry about it. Isn't this fun? You guys finding out how gifted I am. All right, here we go. See how hard this is? Let me try it one more time. There we go. Okay. Yep. It's all gonna work out. It's all gonna work out. Let me make sure the... Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah, here we go. Summertime, I awaken and I'm running down all these vices that my figure's fading out. Tell my baby I will always be around. I will always be around. Beggar with a tall drink, man about town, don't know me. Chipping off the years he don't get it, don't get it, don't know. Baby's in the bed sheets, mama's in the backyard singing so sweet. Take another tall drink. Don't go, you don't get it, no. In a board book, little orphan boy just trying to work it out. All his fixes, he's just choking up the house. Tell my baby I will always be around. I will always be around. Beggar with a tall drink, man about town, don't know. Chipping off the years he don't get it, don't get it, don't know. Baby's in the bed sheets, mama's in the backyard singing so sweet. Take another tall drink. Don't go, don't go, you don't get it, no. I remember when my body was a racehorse singing, I'm not quite 6 feet under. And I surrendered to the light
Joe.
Bye, Joe. Thanks, Kylie.
And Rebecca's been tuning into your Twitch sessions, Brian.
Yeah, let's talk about that. My Twitch sessions. I'm basically just trying to like make an ambient record. So, Tense is just gonna put out more music that's like tense, you know, tense, like songs with lyrics. But I've just been finding it really cathartic, especially with all the chaos lately, to just do ambient sets that are like more built around just really slow, peaceful, quiet, reflective headspaces. And it's not necessarily the most amazing. Hey, thanks, Ashley. Welcome. Hope Spokane is less nasty than Portland right now. Yeah, like it's not necessarily the type of content you like. It's probably not as audience centric as this. Like I'm just sitting there, just kind of playing really quiet. I say hi and stuff. It's casual, but it's every day right now on Twitch. And that is Monday through Friday, twitch.tv/tenseband. Yeah, so check it out. It's just mellow music. You could watch it or you could just bump it in the background. And some of the songs that I've written, I'm already, like, I take them from the session that I improvise, and then I'm turning them into tracks that we'll release at some point. And when we release them, they'll probably just be like
tiny little versions of...
Yeah, like 5-minute ambient songs. It'll just be like, oh, there's Tense traditional catalog, and then they just randomly dropped a full-length ambient record. That's the plan. All right, we got a few more with you with Amy. And then...
Good luck, Donald,
We'll
on
go
the
from that.
parent-teacher conference.
Yeah, gotta fly, parent-teacher. Zoom up, please. Oh my gosh. Sounds fun. Yeah, Rebecca points out you can just go and listen to all those. It's kind of like some of you, I feel like, go on YouTube after the fact to listen to the streams. You can also do that on Twitch with a lot more of those ambient sets. Okay. We're playing, should we do 14 years? Is that the
Sure.
is that the thing to do?
Yeah.
Okay. It's been 14 years since I stared into the void. The heaviness is back in my heart. Babe, I ain't been fighting it, I've been resigned. But who said a father can early retire? Put up his coat, hang on a wire just for a little while. Just until I find my head again. Never said my world was ending. I just gotta stop pretending. I've been hiding out on the back streets. I just need a few more days, a few more weeks. Some days it's all I can do just to pass the time. The tiny sprites upon at my shoulders, begging me get up and come outside. So what are the days I replay in my mind? Ward off the magic, I acquire a meaningless expression. Just rest until I find my head again. Never said my world was ending. I just gotta stop pretending. I've been hiding out on the back streets. I just need a few more days, a few more weeks. Stories floating off with the waves in the torrents. I tell myself stories about the places I'll go and the wonder, and I'll try to plan things. Underwater it's raging, the surface is calm, but you know me, 'cause I once was. Never said my world was ending. I just gotta stop pretending. I've been hiding out on the back streets. I just need a few more days, a few more weeks. Oh, pretty good.
You're hot?
You can see me?
What?
All drippy.
Yes, you do. Look a little.
Should we do a screen grab?
Sure.
Anybody got ideas for screen grab? We gotta get the like You Oh, my new hat is like this.
I'm not gonna say anything about it.
Are you just gonna stand with half your face in the screen?
Yeah. Can we do that? This. Like that. I'm hiding. Like this.
That's a good screen grab, right?
I don't know. Not sure.
I think the fun part is not so much the yeah, I like how just randomly loops start appearing and they're like super pitch shifted. I like that. My oh, that's why
What did you find?
this instrument,
Was it on?
it came unplugged. I was like, what? It was flashing at me weirdly.
It was unplugged.
This is a great instrument. Let me tell you all about it in great detail. Just kidding. Is that it right there?
I don't know. There's a lot of chords down there, so I know you're not actually asking me, but
Ow!
do you want me to do that? Here.
I don't know if it's even gonna reach when this table's up. You could try it. I'm gonna need it for sure when I do the later stuff. It won't reach. Okay. We got this. I'll find it. There's not a lot. Yeah, I guess the power over there on the grounds, maybe? Or... Here, hand it down to me. Just the one end. Yeah. Okay.
Will you hold it for me?
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yay! I killed the batteries on it on accident. This thing's so great.
That just reminds me of fish floating in water. I guess not floating, swimming in water. The soundtrack of fish swimming. How do you call it? The Septivox? Is that what it's called? There's a pink one too. What's the pink one called?
That one's a Bolsa bass.
The Bolsa bass?
Yeah.
Should we do Deer Keeps Pace now?
Hey, see you later, Rebecca. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Much love. We're doing Deer Keeps Pace.
Okay.
Amy's like, I know this is a performance.
I know. What?
I know we're hanging out, but this is still a performance. That's what she thinks to herself in these moments.
Don't tell them all my secret thoughts. Shh. Secrets.
Yeah. This is Deer Keeps Pace. We told you about it last week. It's the title song last time we performed. Oh yeah, we should talk about that before we drop in. What are we doing now? Are we okay, so I'm doing so much of these improv sets, doing them like every day in the morning.
Oh yeah.
And we're kind of toying with the idea of changing the platform. We are reluctant. Actually, since many of you are the people here, I'm curious to find out that are here on a weekly basis. Like we're reluctant about playing the same songs over and over and over again. And we've just been really busy, and so it's hard for us to add new material. And so we haven't...
Or new old
so
material.
we're feeling like we should play every couple weeks. Make it more special. And we've also thought about... We're hoping to reintroduce other bandmates, and we've also talked about like, what else have we talked about?
You doing the ambient portion, not on this stream.
Yeah, just making this more of a strictly performance stream, with the band playing songs. What do you think about that? Let us know. DM us, whether now or if you're watching the live stream later. We'd love to hear feedback, for real. I feel like I say that. People don't always believe me that I'd really like feedback. So, we might go to every 2 weeks. Is that lame?
I mean, oops, I just yawned. Sorry, guys.
Also, what else?
Also, I think I already said that, but...
Yeah,
the fires did not take my childhood home, which we were really thankful for.
Yeah.
Or my sister's house.
We know a lot of people whose homes were taken by fires.
We know. So, anyone that has friends or family, we're thinking of you.
Deer keeps pace beside the road, speaks to me with words I don't know. It's you, it's always you, speaking words with patient lips and eyes so bold. And then I realize I'm in a dream. On the 22, looking out the window of an old Caprice, listening to you. Deer keeps pace. Evidence of strife, evidence of wild. It's you, it's always you. Taking step, then eager step, then eager stride. And then I realize I'm in a dream. I'm the 22, looking out the window of an old Caprice, listening to you. I see the playfulness in how you move. I see the playfulness in you. I see the playfulness in how you move. I see the playfulness in you. Do you keep space? In the morning in my backyard dreaming, spending up my youth. In the morning in my backyard dreaming, where easy dreams come true. And boy, what you gonna do, what you gonna do, when it all comes crashing down? Boy, what you gonna say, how you gonna prove that it all comes back around? Look into my eyes, boy. What you gonna do? Loosen up your grip and let the newness soothe you. Ooh. I wish I could show you Amy's pink toes right now. She's got really great pink toes. You do it? I'll stand on my shoulder. You do it? Pink? It's not. It's too far.
Okay. Try again? That's good.
That's it. That's all we got
You guys
this
gotta
week.
see my cool shoes too. Brand makes fun of me about these shoes, and I do not think there's anything to be made fun of about them. They're very comfortable,
They're awesome.
and I don't mind what they look like.
They're awesome mom shoes. Do you think they're like... Yeah, kids wear them now, huh?
Yeah,
Maybe, like,
younger people than us by a substantial amount wear these shoes. So
it's amazing how you're, as an older person, your dispositions about fashion can betray you as trends begin to change.
I think my motto has always been, just wear what you like.
Nah.
No, that's true. guys will get to hear our little squabble.
We don't squabble. We squabble sometimes.
Are we out?
Yeah, I think.
Okay.
Thank you, babe.
Are you still doing ambient thing? I thought you weren't going to. Say goodnight.
I mean, it's only been like a 45 minutes set. That's just not very long. Yeah, I'm gonna play a little bit. Maybe just answer my own questions, huh? I wonder how this sounds like pitched down. Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna. It's not that great. It's not a good sound. Maybe that. That's not a great sound either. Come on. No, that's almost a usable loop. I've been dreaming about this feeling, dreaming about the summer that seemed didn't want to know you. I've been lonely, I've seen. I've been dreaming. I've been dreaming, I've been dreaming, I've been dreaming about the day, I've been dreaming long. Did you want to know? I've been dreaming about the sunlight. dreaming about the love. Hey, been dreaming about the love. Hey, been dreaming about the struggle. It's on in my head. I've been dreaming about the love. Dreaming about the love, yeah. I've been dreaming about the sun. Yeah. Dreaming about the love we had. Been dreaming about. Been dreaming about the love we had. I've been dreaming, dreaming. Hey, I've been dreaming about the love we had. I've been dreaming about. I've been dreaming about it. I've been dreaming about it. I've been dreaming about the love we had. I've been dreaming about the love. I've been dreaming about the love. I've been dreaming about the love we had. Dreaming, 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 dreaming. I've been dreaming about the love we had. I've been dreaming about the love. Could we get it again? Yeah. I've been dreaming about the love we had. Hey, hey. You know what I'm gonna do right now? 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 I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do right now. I'm gonna check my text messages. Just kidding. I wouldn't do that during a live stream. Like, just check my email or whatever. No way, bro. I would not do that. I would not ever do that. Where are you at, dog? Come on now. Live stream. Okay, we're gonna shift directions. Maybe some of you won't like this. Maybe some of you will like this. Stop. Okay. That's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. I feel as though that is ridiculous. Tracks. Where are you at? Okay, behind the box. I'm gonna text. Yo, come on. Take it. Now can you? No? No. Come on. Oh, I want it to work so bad. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. Yeah. Okay, it's thinking. It doesn't matter if anyone is. It doesn't matter. Don't warp. Don't be so loud. Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. It doesn't matter if anyone is looking or not. The orange figure floats above. Okay. A friend of mine who I am texting made a Kristen Hooker. Eric. I'm about to perform the read on YouTube. Okay, so here's how this goes. I have to urinate. Excuse my language. This is going to be like it's not like it's like a suspense fringe horror kind of a summer scorcher short story that a friend of mine wrote. That is a fun story, and I need to use the bathroom, but when I come back I read the whole thing. It took me like 50 minutes, and I'm gonna just play back the recording I did and improvise underneath it. We'll see how it goes. So I'll be right back. I'll go quick. Okay. So once again, for those of you who missed what I'm about to do, sort of unconventional, I'll give you that. But for a band to do something like this, but let's be honest, we're in the future, so it's cool. But yeah, essentially what we're doing is like doing a live stream of, I read a short story, recorded myself reading it. I'm gonna play it back, do music underneath it. We have a wide array of different types of people that listen to our bands. So if you're in here and you don't like the horror genre, this is kind of a dark story. It's a beautiful story. Just depends on your threshold for that kind of stuff. But just come on back in like an hour. I think I'll still be on. Hey, Nicole. It's weird, Nicole. Nikki, that's very professional of you to call yourself Nicole. Should I call you Nicole now? This is kind of weird to be talking about this. Thanks for checking it out, Nikki. Nicole. Because I posted a gold teeth on Instagram, this like live stream. Just took a chunk of the live stream and put it on Instagram. And in it, I go, "What's up, cuz?" I say that. And like I'm talking to you, and so there's like a shout out to you in the Instagram video. It's kind of funny. Okay, so we about to do this thing. I should not put that there though. I should put that down here. Okay. I gotta set the mood. It doesn't matter if anyone is looking. No, that's the story. We're gonna wait. Yeah. $92. Yeah. Okay. It doesn't matter if anyone is looking or not. The orange figure floats above the busy bees and breathlessly watches them toil in the vast concrete box. The figure's not there to frighten or warn. He just is. Danielle gathered her things into her oversized tote. Water, protein bar, wallet, cherry chapstick, and keys.
generic painkillers in case the work was anything like she had heard. She sat on the edge of the threadbare couch near her mother. It was bright outside, but the shades remained shut to block the record-breaking heat of the early summer and keep the glare from the TV. Her mother watched her favorite game show, Pauper to Prince. It was the show where a poor family could perform humiliating challenges to win a middle-class lifestyle. Danielle saw bloody red meat on the screen and looked away. She didn't even want to know what they were going to do with it. The images would press into her mind and come back later. Such was her imagination. "Is that what you're wearing on your first day?" her mother asked of her long-sleeved neon shirt. "It's my uniform, I have to," Danielle said. "Not your color." "How much does this job pay?" Danielle made an estimate. "Not enough to live and get your medicine." "Good thing I get those checks. Do good and they'll make you a manager in no time. They'll see how smart you are. A master's degree, for goodness sakes." Her mother fully looked her in the eyes for the first time that morning. Mother wasn't proud of Danielle's new warehouse job, but proud of her. Danielle didn't feel worthy of that prize. As a caretaker, she was failing. Her feeble mother was in the same floral nightgown she had been sitting, sleeping, and sweating in for 3 days. Her thin ginger white hair looked tangled. Danielle should have offered to help her clean herself up, but wanted to be early on her first day. Danielle drove her crappy car past shuttered stores and restaurants toward the airport where the warehouse stood the span of 10 football fields, according to the evening news. Danielle was just an orange dot against the gray behemoth. She surrendered her phone at security and was fitted with a cuff by a serious man in a blue shirt. She was distracted by a bulbous mole on his neck that jiggled while he talked about how the cuff tracked her movements, directed her to inventory, scanned items, and alerted her to break times. Another blue shirt, Richard, took over to give her a tour of the warehouse. Keys dangled from his belt and rattled with every step. He carried a tablet like a clipboard. Richard suddenly stopped and narrowed his eyes on Danielle to warn her about the strike system. If you stop working for too long, strike. If you socialize when you should be working, strike. Arriving late or finishing your break late, strike. 3 strikes in a month and you're dismissed. A strike dissolves 30 days after receiving it. No strikes on your first day while you find your footing. He told her more about the process, but it was hard to focus. There was generic electronic music being piped in, like the background of an aerobics video. Sounds of metal hitting metal, motors, and the zip of packing tape pulling away from its roll echoed against the concrete. The most powerful impression came from the odor-like overripe bananas and gassy broccoli, old meat and rotten fruit. The odor came from an indoor dumpster near the fresh groceries. They tossed old food into the dumpster that was emptied twice a week. They didn't keep it outside because it would take too long to carry the old food out. It was deemed a waste of man-hours. Smell's not as bad in the winter. The summer heat makes it worse, and I hear it's going to be a hot one. You'll get used to it, Richard said. He typed a code into his tablet, and Danielle's first order came up on her cuff. A tennis racket and a can of spray cheese, aisles 47E and 93A. "Get at it," he said. Danielle wanted to make a good first impression, so she started jogging. "Pace yourself," someone shouted at her. She turned around to see who said it, but all she saw was the constant movement of bright shirts, like a mound of orange ants. They were all walking to the beat of the music. Her cuff buzzed to remind her to keep moving, so she did. Items, box, tape, label, conveyor belt, next order. She never adjusted to the smell. It wasn't just the food dump, it was the body odor that came from everywhere. It came from her own body, it came from the men who cut slits in their armpits of their shirts just so they could cool off a little. It was musky and sour. When they filled her 10th order, a pink toolkit, her nose found a bottle of dark yellow liquid discarded next to the merchandise. Some people are disgusting, she thought. After 3 hours, Danielle's cuff buzzed to indicate break time. It took 10 minutes to walk to the sterile break room for a 15-minute break. She crammed a chocolate protein bar into her mouth and chugged water while she waited in line for the bathroom. Near the bathroom door, a short man put a quarter into a vending machine that dispensed no-dos. "Did you start begging for the night shift yet?" someone asked. It was a man about Danielle's age, symmetrical and strong. "They told me shift choice was based on seniority," she said. His cuff buzzed to indicate the imminent end of his break. "And it's the only time of year the seniors want the night shift. It's about 10 degrees cooler at night. I've been here 5 months," he said. "First day," Danielle said. "I know I'd remember if I saw you. Have you hallucinated yet?" he asked. A flirtatious wink escaped his eye as if he couldn't help it. Danielle glanced at his ID tag. Brandon. His cuff buzzed again. He gave up on waiting for the bathroom and jogged back to the warehouse floor. Danielle wondered why he mentioned hallucinating. Could there be a culture of drug use? Not likely. They had strict drug tests and random breathalyzers to make sure no one was drinking spiked energy drinks on the job. Danielle's cuff buzzed. "Excuse me, my break is over in 1 minute. Can I cut in front of you?" she asked the frowning woman in front of her. "Sorry, honey, me too. And I've had kids. I can't hold it like I used to." When she fretted about not getting to use the bathroom, she reminded herself that she was lucky to have a job after the pandemic swept through. She would just have to hold it in. She forgave whoever left a bottle of urine by the toolkit. They were lucky to have a job too. After a week, Danielle achieved flow. She could imagine herself as an orange dot on a map of the warehouse in her mind. She learned to take painkillers before her shift. She noticed what kind of shoes the old pros wore and started saving for them. She learned she had to go to bed at 9 o'clock sharp to avoid exhausting herself. She learned that even in the break room, there was no time to get to know anyone. There would be no after-shift happy hour. After graduating, her friends all moved back to their parents' homes in this or that town in the Pacific Northwest. There were no happy hours with anyone. Danielle and Brandon crisscrossed at work, always meeting each other's eyes. Danielle felt energized whenever she saw him, even though the thermostat was nearing 100 degrees and everyone felt drained. If she spoke to him, it would be the only good thing that happened at work, and curiosity was eating away at her, so she waited for an opportune moment. Danielle stopped Brandon behind stack boxes of children's bicycles. "Hey, psst," she said. "What were you saying the other day about hallucinating?" Brandon glanced around, apparently nervous, but he still offered a conspiratorial smile. "Everyone who works here hallucinates eventually. They see a man in an orange shirt floating in the air. It's because there's all the constant movement and crazy smells, and you get dehydrated. I think it messes with your head a little bit. I saw the man over the books section. There's another theory, though." Both their cuffs buzzed. Socializing 45 seconds, pay docked 28 cents, 1 strike. They parted ways. Danielle felt guilty for stopping him and foolish for receiving a strike. It was like receiving an F in school. She had never had one before. Danielle checked the schedule posted in the break room at the end of her shift. She saw Brandon's name crossed out and switched with someone else's the next week. They would both have Thursday off. A smile crossed her lips, and she wondered if she was being egotistical for thinking it might be about her. She went to retrieve her tote from her locker and found a note written on a Thai takeout menu. "Seeing as how there's no time to talk at work, I wondered if you'd like to have a picnic Thursday. Selwood, Riverfront, 5 p.m. If you don't show, I'll understand. No explanation necessary. But let's keep it our little secret." When a manager walked into her locker room, Danielle quickly tucked the note away. She didn't understand why, but it seemed to be against the rules. Of course she would meet him. She wanted to have a little secret. Danielle arrived at Selwood Park on time, wearing a loose floral dress and sandals. Even at 5 p.m., sweat dripped between her breasts. She was proud that someone would see her in makeup with her hair glossy and her legs shaved. She had already taken dozens of selfies to replace all her bad profile pics. Brandon had an old quilt on a shady patch of grass with a view of the river. Danielle arrived at the blanket, and they greeted each other with smiles. No touch. "Chardonnay?" he asked. He opened a cooler and laid out chicken salad croissants, cherries, cheese, nuts, and cookies. Everything was in a plastic clamshell, but still it looked fancy to Danielle, like he was a man of taste. They both sprayed sanitizer onto their hands before he poured wine into a tumbler. "You look good in something other than orange," she said. He wore a blue shirt and camouflage shorts that showed he had bruises on his legs just like Danielle. Why are we being so secretive, she asked. I think they track our phones. If they catch wind that people are gathering outside work, they worry about people unionizing and finding a reason to fire them. I left my phone at home. We just have to keep our phones apart and not tell anyone about seeing each other. Simple enough. They told their stories and every step was familiar. School, debt, pandemic, bad economy, and the warehouse. I wanted to become a psychologist, but suddenly seeing a psychologist is sort of frivolous. Everyone is afraid to spend their money. I wanted to be an interior architect. I might get there one day. Things will get better. Danielle bit into a cherry. She tried to be dainty so she wouldn't have to spit out the pit. These cherries are amazing. Must have cost a fortune. Well, I may have saved some food from the food dump. Danielle was perplexed. The food isn't even spoiled, she said. We throw away so much food. It would have been thrown away eventually. I just rescued a little bit ahead of schedule. His wink was becoming familiar. How did you sneak it out? I feel like I'm being watched all the time. There's an emergency exit behind the food dump, and I happened to overhear that the alarm is broken. I packed a box of food while simultaneously packing a real shipment. Accidentally dropped something behind the food dump. Slipped the box out the exit door, then went around outside the building to get the box after my shift. The security camera outside can't see you if you stand flat up against the wall. You're a genius, she said. They clinked glasses. She moved closer to him. While they ate, it was more comfortable to look at the river instead of each other. The lap of the tiny waves filled the silences that would otherwise be uncomfortable. Sorry I got you a strike the other day by talking. No big deal, I only have one. When we were talking, you said there was another theory about the floating man. Brandon smoothed his hand over his brown hair. Maybe I shouldn't have brought that up. It's unpleasant. I can handle it. I'm very curious. Danielle leaned closer and poured more wine into both their glasses. Well, turnover at the warehouse is really high, so it's hard to get info about anything that happened more than a year ago. So I don't know if this is true. Stop making disclaimers and just tell me, she playfully pushed him. There was an employee. He was a tenured professor, thought very highly of himself. When things went bad, he lost his job, had trouble finding work, and ended up at the warehouse. He thought the work was beneath him. He had a bad attitude. Management broke him down, though. He kept getting strikes, had to grovel to keep his job, and he got quiet. He stopped complaining about the working conditions. Then summer came. The warehouse heated up, the food dump was putrid. He developed tendinitis and he had to work through the pain. It was all too depressing. He was working a night shift and just snapped. He stopped filling orders and kept eluding the security guard while his cuff was blinking the message, "Dismissed, dismissed." He drank some top-shelf booze, took ropes from the sporting goods section, and hung himself above the books. Some people say he was a philosophy professor and hung himself above the philosophy section, but you know that's not how the books are organized. Anyway, people say that when you see the floating man, it's actually his ghost hanging from the rafters, forever stuck in the warehouse. Danielle's imagination filled in the blanks. She saw a balding head and a low white ponytail. She pictured a gold class ring and conjured the scent of department store cologne. And you've seen him, right? She asked. I've seen something. I don't think it's a ghost. Just my mind playing tricks on me. Or maybe the image of an orange shirt is just burned into my eyes like when you see spots after looking at bright light. But was it in the book section? Yeah, but if you're worried about it and you don't want to see him, just don't look up. Don't look up. Sounds like the poster of a horror movie. You like horror movies? Brandon reached over and touched a bruise on her shin. Yeah, just not the really bloody one, she said. It seemed an odd time for him to wink, but still, cute. Danielle hated the idea of seeing a hanging man, but was too curious not to look. Danielle had lingering doubts about Brandon. Why doesn't he talk about his family? Surely his background was checked before he got a job. What do I really know about this guy? The doubts dissolved whenever she laid down next to him. Breaking rules, especially the taboo of touch, made Danielle euphoric. Even after seeing Brandon for a few weeks, She still felt like she was floating from her dusty apartment to her sweaty job. She arrived at work smiling and greeting the security guards by name. They turned off the air conditioner, the guard said in a low voice while she was waiting to go through the metal detector. She deflated. Why? It didn't make a big difference to the temperature and cost a lot to run. Gonna be a hot one, drink water before your shift. The guard seemed grumpy, but didn't dare complain. She stopped to fill her water bottle, then noticed she was going to be late. Danielle walked into the warehouse floor and couldn't help but pause to take in the scene. Giant fans were simply moving the heat and odors around. Whitened, gummy salmon, cilantro so decayed it was liquid, brown cauliflower, whole turkeys from a broken freezer all in a heap that threatened to spill over the top of the dumpster. Shards from broken jars cut the plastic away from poultry and let the pink syrup trickle. For the first time, Danielle saw flies circling and landing over and over. They had no interest in the sticky fly paper that hung nearby. Of course, the dumpster would eventually be emptied, but the liquid distilled by the decaying food would coat the container's walls, penetrate the blue paint, and gather in any foothold it could gain. Danielle thought, this is what death must smell like. She breathed through her mouth. The taste tightened her throat. She hurried to retrieve cherry lip balm from her bag and apply it above her lips and around her nostrils. She didn't care if it put a shine in the center of her face. Pride was no object. The mother Danielle met on her first day ran to a trash can and vomited, checked her cuff to see that she had received a strike for stopping, then ran off to fill another order. The managers were wearing masks. No one else got a mask. Let's go, 30 seconds till your shift starts, Richard shouted at her. She put her things in her locker, signed in, put on her cuff, turned it on, and immediately received a strike. She was 5 seconds late. There was no point in disputing or asking for mercy. It was all automatic. She had 2 strikes. She received her first order to fill, chocolate, Pinot Noir, a self-help book called When Life Seems Fucked, a pregnancy test, an emergency contraceptive same-day delivery, box, tape, label, conveyor belt. She stood, waiting for a new order to load. It wasn't often there was a lull in orders. She looked around. Brandon was somewhere in the warehouse, sweating and gagging, no doubt. But she didn't know where. He had instructed her to come to his apartment after work, even if they didn't see each other. He was expecting her. Stop, someone shouted. She looked up from her cuff. The new forklift operator drove into someone, a gray-haired man. His foot was lodged under a pallet. Boxes came crashing down on him and tumbled away. His trousers caught in a wooden crate and tore open, despite all the sound in the warehouse. Danielle heard the crack. Above the constant beat of music intertwined with the man's howls, the rips of packing tape, snap, a violent blossom of skin, red tissue, white jagged bone was bursting from his pant leg. Sprays of blood sprang up with the thump of his heartbeat. Danielle gasped, and again choked on the stench that surrounded the gruesome scene. Within a few seconds, Richard was running toward the accident. He had a white tent that popped open with the flick of his wrist. It completely hid the accident from view. 2 medics appeared. Danielle didn't even know they had medics. They rolled a stretcher behind the tent. The tent did nothing to mute the gray-haired man's screams as they presumably dislodged his foot and lifted him into a stretcher. When they wheeled him out of the tent, there was a curtain around the stretcher that hid the victim from anyone's view. A spatter of blood seeped through the curtain. The stretcher and the medics disappeared behind a door. Danielle didn't know where the door led. A lump formed in Danielle's throat. 2 people in hazmat suits ran in with supplies behind the white tent. She could hear spraying and vacuuming. They ran back out. The tent came down, and all that was left was a pile of boxes spattered with blood and water. Stock boys ran to the boxes and lifted them into the pallet. A new forklift operator took the boxes away. Everyone except Danielle worked through the whole scene without stopping. It only took a minute for all evidence of an accident to simply be gone. Danielle snapped out of her shock when she felt her cuff vibrating 3 strikes. Dismissed. Dismissed. A blue shirt named Calvin ran up to her side and entered a code into his tablet, and the 3rd strike disappeared. Walk with me, he said. Calvin linked his arm in Danielle's and escorted her toward her next order. He spoke low into her ear. I'm one of the few managers who was promoted. I know what it's like to be you. I'm not going to give you a strike this time. Next time something like that happens, ignore it. Keep working, never stop moving, and don't tell anyone what you just saw, ever. He peeled off from her side seamlessly from one activity to another. Danielle was disoriented, but kept walking. What was she supposed to pick up? Pants? Sheets? Bandages? A book? She felt sick to her stomach, but kept walking. All sound blended together into one, but she kept walking. She wanted to hunch over to soothe her stomach, but she kept walking. Idiot's Guide to Philosophy. As she scanned the item, she lifted her head. She saw the bottoms of white sneakers swaying side to side like a tired pendulum. Above the sneakers were khaki pants, then an orange shirt, then the red face of a man with a white beard and bulging blue eyes. The figure looked down at her with a halo of fluorescent light behind his head. She blinked, and he was gone. Don't stop. Walk, box, tape, label, conveyor belt, next order. She timed the vomit, so she would only have to stop at a trash can for 10 seconds, and even then she tried to keep sidestepping and dragging the trash can along with her. No strike, just the next order. Danielle arrived home after witnessing the accident. She was unsure if it had even happened, but she knew she was exhausted and relieved that the next day would be her day off. Brandon would have to wait until... Part of her was dying to talk to him about what had happened, to find out if he knew anything, but her body was near shutting down. She needed sleep. Her mother was snoozing in front of the TV. She smelled of neglect. Danielle knew she needed a bath, but it would also have to wait until tomorrow. Pauper the Prince was on TV. A family of humans was trying to race a family of dogs up a greased incline. At the top of the incline, there was a fancy dinner table set with a roasted chicken, potatoes, a green bean casserole, and pie. The father used a small dog's fur to wipe grease away as a fake audience roared with laughter. Eventually, the family laid against the incline and stood on each other's shoulders until they created a human ladder that the youngest could climb to the top of. The little girl stood atop the table, dipped her hand into the cherry pie, ate messy with red goo around her mouth, and cheered as prop money poured down from the heavens. The rest of the family couldn't make it to the top, but they cheered from ground level, where they tried to maintain their slippery footing. The dogs just gave up. Danielle went to bed with a big glass of water, double-checked that she had taken her precious medicine that morning, pointed a fan at her face, and fell asleep even though the sun was still up. 10 hours later, she awoke, changed the sweaty underwear that was clinging to her body, refilled her water glass, and took her pills. She shuffled to her mother, still in the chair in front of the TV. "Did you even go to bed last night?" she asked. When her mother didn't move or answer, Danielle crept closer and rounded the chair until she could see her mother's face. Her eyelids were drooping, lips slightly parted, and body slumped as low as it could go. Danielle tumbled backwards. She breathed fast, hot breaths, and vomited water and pills into the wastebasket. She then put her face in front of the air conditioner, slowed down what felt like a panic attack. Her mother was dead. She couldn't look. She couldn't bear to test for a pulse. She just knew. Her mind was flooded with thoughts of what would happen next. A funeral, having to move. More struggle, more loss, more loneliness. Despite her panic, she managed to dress herself and drive to Brandon's. Danielle laid out the plastic, but was too shaky to help with anything else. She already agreed they couldn't put her in the river because she could be found and identified. Then her checks would stop coming. They both lived in apartments and had no private place to bury her. They didn't want to put the body someplace unfamiliar with unknown factors. No one would notice in the food dump. There was no time to notice and no stench that stood out above the others. The body would be too heavy to lift overhead, so it would have to be in more than one piece. Brandon prepared to strike with an axe with his eyes squeezed shut. "Wait," Danielle said. "Are you really sure we should do this?" Brandon set the axe on the floor, went to Danielle, and cupped her face in his hands. Remember, you came to me saying you didn't know how you'd survive without her. This was your idea. No, Danielle said, I didn't mean this though. I was just saying. You need her social security checks for your medicine, right? Is there some other place you can get the money? Danielle shook her head. Right. She wouldn't want us to suffer. She'd want us to have it. You had the right idea. Now look the other way. Brandon picked up the axe and Danielle covered her ears. The smell wasn't bothersome compared to the warehouse, but the sound of wet thumps, the weighty fall of limbs into a pile, these sounds would never leave her. Brandon wrapped large pieces into butcher paper so it would look like the large cuts of meat that were sometimes thrown away at work. Seeing blood on those packages was normal. They removed the shelves from the refrigerator, packed in the parcels, and threw the plastic sheeting away. They also dumped the soiled chair. It left a gap in the living room where the carpet looked perkier. Danielle waited until they were done to fall apart again. Brandon held her. She would have wanted you to have a better life. She'd want you to have the money. Danielle spoke through sobbing breaths. She has an empty burial plot next to my dad's. She didn't know how hard things were going to get, he said. You're doing the right thing. Just stick to the plan. You came up with a foolproof plan. It will be our little secret. Danielle's head felt like a skipping record without her medication. She felt disoriented and unsettled. Did I come up with a foolproof plan? We're going to have a good life, he said. Danielle was alone all night. Brandon paid someone to give him their night shift. She couldn't sleep and stayed up watching reruns of old, wholesome TV shows on the couch. She changed the channel and caught a glimpse of Pauper to Prince, where a woman was taking a bite out of a live squid. It was cruel. But who was she to call something cruel? The image of her parents' headstone pulsed in her mind. Instead of a hand bursting from the ground like a zombie, she pictured her mother trying to dig her way into the place she was supposed to rest. Then looking back at Danielle over her shoulder with hate in her eyes while she continued to dig. Danielle's imagination was always more vivid when she missed a dose of medicine. At 5:30 a.m., she took her medicine and reminded herself that she absolutely could not throw up because nothing but those pills would relieve her of the image of her mother digging her bare fingers. She forgot to wash her clothes, so her orange shirt was wrinkled and musty. She lugged the packages from her refrigerator to the trunk of her car. Each package seemed just as heavy as when she was helping her mom out with a tub in one piece. At the warehouse, she moved the packages to the emergency exit door in 2 loads. Each time she stayed flat against the wall. Since it was not uncommon after the pandemic, she wore a bandana over her nose and mouth to hide her face and a baseball cap over her hair. The packages were in place on time. Danielle had done her part. Now Brandon would find time to slip them in through the door and throw them in the dump. She went into the building early, surrendered her phone, and went through security and onto the warehouse floor. She lingered out in the open, waiting to see Brandon. After a few minutes, he appeared and they nodded at one another. As long as he only got creative with his route for less than 30 seconds, he wouldn't get more than 1 strike. Where are you going? Your order is that way, Richard said. He looked at his tablet, then pointed down the center of the warehouse. Oops, Brandon said. You know better. Next time it'll be a strike. Brandon started jogging away, but then doubled back and whispered something in Richard's ear. They both walked out of sight. It was up to Danielle. She tucked her cuff away in the break room so she wouldn't be tracked. She went behind the food dump, breathed through her mouth to curb the smell, and pressed the emergency door button. The alarm had apparently been repaired. It rang out over and over. Danielle wanted to cover her ears, but needed her hands to finish her job. She hurried to pull the packages in, but closing the door did not stop the alarm. She hoisted the first package up over her head into the dumpster. The second one was harder to lift and slid off the sweat of her hands. She dug her fingers in and lifted again, one motion all the way up over her head. Just as she was reaching the edge of the dumpster, Richard arrived and used a key to stop the alarm. She jumped to push it over the top, which upset the beads of sweat around her temples, which she nudged away on her shoulders. What the hell are you doing? Richard asked. Sorry, sir. Someone overshot the food dump and I was afraid these packages would be a tripping hazard. When I bent over to pick them up, my back pushed the door. He scoffed. A short ladder allowed him to climb up and peek over the edge. The expression on his face changed. He narrowed his eyes, then slowly climbed down. Just go clock in and get your fucking cuff on. Danielle clocked in, and while Brandon was clocking out, they spoke in whispers. I'm sorry, he said. What happened? She asked. I'll come over after work. I think you're safe here. I think. Danielle kept her head down all day, her heart beat a little faster than usual. Halfway through the day, she heard the sound of the truck entrance open. The food dump was carried away, but didn't come back. It was replaced with a clean new dumpster that didn't reek yet. A cheer spread through the warehouse. It was still hot, but for at least one day it didn't smell quite so bad. Danielle faked a smile when everyone else cheered. After holding back all day, pretending she was someone else, someone who didn't back up her mother and dishonorably discharge the bits of body into a pile of rotten food, she burst into tears in her car and cried the whole drive home. When Brandon came to Danielle's house, he explained that he distracted Richard by telling him he saw two people socializing. But Richard had to go back toward the dump when he heard the alarm ring. From a distance, Brandon saw the packages go in. The second one unraveled. I think Richard saw the body when he took him. But you must have played dumb perfectly. After you walked away, he ordered a bunch of meat thrown away. I think he was trying to cover it up. They avoid scandals at all costs. He doesn't know what it was or where it came from, and he's not going to try to find out. You're safe. Brandon massaged her sore feet. I already brought a load of my stuff over, he said. We'll get through this together. Did she tell Brandon he could move in? Danielle couldn't remember that part of the plan. Danielle and Brandon shared the cost of filling his gas tank. His car was a little nicer than Danielle's. The air conditioner worked a little better than hers. It was August and it was still scorching. Finally going to the coast. You excited? He asked. Danielle shaped her mouth into a smile and nodded. We'll do everything you did with your family. Saltwater taffy and kites, right? I forgot to tell you. Richard talked to me in the break room and tried to casually ask if I saw anyone outside of work. What did you tell him? I told him no. I said I didn't have time to hang out with anyone. Did he ask about me specifically? No. Good. We won't have to hide forever. We both have degrees. We'll get jobs, right? I don't have a degree, he said. Danielle's eyes narrowed on him. What about interior architecture? She said. I never finished. I'll finish one day, he said. Danielle didn't question his deception. She was afraid of how he would react. They drove to Cannon Beach and reveled in the moment when the view of the ocean came over the horizon. They parked and Danielle began walking into the sand. I think we'll get to a place that sells kites if we walk this way, she said. Let's get food first. I looked up a fish and chips place. He led her away from the sand and into the pub. They were able to sit at a bar, both facing the ocean. They ordered food, he ordered a beer, and another beer. It was easy to look at the ocean while they ate instead of talking. They sampled 8 flavors of saltwater taffy and bought a little paper bag full of the stuff. They walked on the beach and relieved themselves of the heat by walking through water up to their knees. Let's just take a picture in front of Haystack Rock, she said. I'll just take a picture of you, he said. She didn't smile, but tried to look pretty. They browsed kites. There were elaborate ones that looked like dragons, but Brandon chose a cheap diamond-shaped kite in primary colors. Classic, he said. She unwrapped the kite on the beach. You go ahead. I just feel like sitting here. Can I have your phone? He asked. He always left his phone at work in his locker. She took the kite toward the water by herself. When she got it up in the air, she looked back at him, but his head was down and his thumb was swiping across the screen. She tried to take herself back to days when she did this with both her parents, but it was hard to picture. When she tried to see her parents' faces, they only looked angry, ashamed, disgusted. A gust of wind caused the kite to dive down into the water. The pull of the ocean ripped the kite away and broke the cheap string. Glare made it difficult to see where the kite went. While searching the waves, she glanced at the orange sun hanging low in the sky, which caused her to see spots. The heat added to her disorientation. She squeezed her eyes shut tight. When she opened them, Brandon was there. Well, that's that. Should we head home? The sun was behind his head, but his shadow did little to protect her. She held back tears. Okay. Good birthday, right? He said. Just when it seemed like the heat of the summer was gone, it came back in late September. The sweat, the odor, the rot, the dehydration all came back. Danielle was accustomed to this misery and carried on. Next order, a 50-inch TV, an oversized tin of Chicago mixed popcorn. She slid the TV off of a low shelf and onto a cart. Crouched behind the box in the dimness, away from the fluorescent buzz, her mother sat in two pieces. She held her own disembodied legs in her arms. Mother said nothing. Her eyes did all the accusing. Danielle screamed and curled into a ball on the floor. She covered her eyes and kept bawling while her cuff buzzed. Strike. Richard ran to her. With a flick of his wrist, he unfurled a white tent. She could hear him breathing, but he said nothing as she wept. A stretcher arrived and two men lifted her onto the bed. She laid on her side. No idea, Richard said. I saw her, she screamed. It was a long walk to wherever they were taking her. She couldn't see out from the curtain that hid her from view, but she heard Brandon's voice. What happened? Brandon asked someone. The chick Danielle finally flipped her shit. You're friends with her, right? Someone asked. Not really, Brandon said. Brandon, who told her she ought to find a cheaper antipsychotic medication so they'd have more money to play with. Brandon, who criticized her when the cheaper medicine made her eat like a baby hog and gain weight around her hips. Brandon, who told her to get over it when she was still weeping weeks after her mother's death. It was his idea, she cried. Danielle was wheeled out of sight and felt someone remove her cuff. I'll go clock her out, someone said from the other side of the stretcher's curtain. She's stuck here. She's angry at me, Danielle whispered. Should we call an ambulance? Someone asked. Yes, but tell them to come around back. No sirens. Tell security to get her stuff together, Richard said. We're stuck here, Danielle whimpered.
That was Behind the Boxes by Kristen Hooker. I'm sorry, the music mix overtook the voiceover at one point. Oh, my back. Ahoy! Ahoy! Okay. No, you make a sick beat out of that. Wow. Excuse me. Hi, Chaz. I don't know if you're still here, but what's up, bro? Shout out from the mainland. I've been streaming for 2 hours. I just improvised a soundtrack to a short piece of fiction by a friend of mine. It was lovely. Holding that guitar that whole time, like, oh my gosh, like reaching for stuff. Yeah. Stretch it out. This is the one. Oh, you can see how handsome I am from the side angle. Gotta stretch. I'm gonna keep doing this. Oh. Okay, so this stream, I don't know what's gonna happen right now, but hey yo, what do we got? You know what I'm feeling right now is you're dry. There we go. That's dry. So what I'm feeling is actually this jam that we did earlier. What was our tempo though? This is it. I've been dreaming about you, babe. You remember this? Yeah. I've been dreaming about my love. What are we supposed to be at? We're supposed to be at. So anyway. There we go. I've been Hey. I've been dreaming about love. Dreaming about the love, yeah. I've been dreaming about it. I've been dreaming about the love we had. I've been dreaming about the love. I've been dreaming about the love we had. I've been dreaming. Hey! I've been dreaming. Okay, I think I'm gonna kill this stream because I really want to get into this track. I might come back. There's 2 people in here. I know you love us. I'm gonna kill this stream because I just feel like people come back to it later. They're gonna be like, "What? This is just a weird production stream. What's even happening?" But what we're gonna do is just work on this track, try to make it dope. I'm trying to make it dope. I like the track. I like the idea from earlier. I'm trying to take these live streams, and when I make stuff up, I'm trying to see if I can figure out how to like grab it, make it part of my little family. So we're about to do that. But thank you everyone for coming to my live stream. Thank you for your friendship and your willingness to listen and and thank you for willingness to listen, making jokes with me and making jokes with Amy and hanging out with us even when we're awkward and aren't quite sure how to hold our hands or what to say. Really appreciate you. Appreciate your time.